Hello, everyone. We're going to try something new today. We wanted to do a little live segment of who our sponsors are for the month. And we usually do an in-person mixer every month. And so this month, our sponsor is Maryam Majnounian. I hope I said that correctly. She's a real estate broker here in the West LA area. So, Maryam, welcome. Thank you. And you know my husband, Jeff.
Yes.
Howdy.
So we're doing a live here to kind of introduce you to her. She's going to host and sponsor our event next Thursday on October 12th. So tune in for that. But here is Maryam with let's see, should we ask her questions?
Sure. I mean,
First
obviously,
of all,
I'm brought in because I work for Wells Fargo Home Mortgage, but I think I know a few things that are probably going on in the real estate market, so I could ask a few questions.
Don't go hard on me.
I'm going to go
but
really
first
easy.
question I want to ask is, how long have you been a real estate agent?
Good question. It feels like forever. I think I started full-time 2009.
2009,
Yes.
okay.
You do the calculation. I think it's like...
Were you in sales
14
prior
years?
to that?
Oh, no. Is it 14? Yeah, it sounds like 14.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. No, I never been in sales. I've been in corporate jobs before I moved to United States, and then when I moved here, until I got my license, it took me like 4 years to get my license. I did a lot of retail work. My first job was at Vons. When I moved here, we went to the Vons and I was like, oh my God, I love this store. I want to work in here. I'm like, I have no idea. And then I went to Tuesday morning, and then after that, I worked at First Federal Bank of California. They got bought up by, I think, One West. And then after that, I just started full-time real estate, which I wasn't that long for part-time, but you know, yeah.
Cool. And then what was it that got you into real estate? Was this something you did some research? Was it all the wonderful things about this industry and people making, or the perceived notion that people make money over hand over foot this industry?
I had no, I'm sorry, freaking idea. What is real estate? How am I supposed to do it? So while I was trying to figure out life in United States, I was on my sister's couch and I was watching HGTV channel all day, like literally all day. And then I was like, oh my God, this is such a cool job. I can do it. I had no idea what I'm getting into it. And I'm like, I started searching out like, how can I be a real estate agent? And then I find out, well, I have to have a license. Oh, okay. How am I supposed to get a license? So I Googled stuff. I found some
all the classes came up.
I know. I found like an online class, and that didn't work out for me. And then I learned that there is the adult school, Culver City Adult School, is offering late night classes. And I went there, and so yeah, that's how I got into real estate.
That's amazing.
That's a good story.
That's a good story.
You should talk to Melissa, who's in our group, and she can help you tone that down to your storytelling of you and have your...
Yeah, I've met Melissa. Yes,
yes. So she's really great with that.
Yeah.
You should definitely do that with her. So tell us a little bit about like what was like the biggest success story of one of your real estate transactions?
You guys are asking hard questions. I told you to go easy on me.
And if the audience,
if
you guys are watching out there and you have a question for Maryam, please put it into the comments and we're happy to ask her and help you answer those.
I'm going to broaden the successful question to say, what was the most memorable transaction that you ever did? One that sticks out, be it good or bad.
Hi, Rick.
Hi,
Angeles. Hi,
okay,
Nicole.
I think I have one. So I met this guy at one of my open houses. He comes in. It looks like he could be a homeless. So I'm just no discrimination. Followed up next week or so, and he he ended up having about like 20 properties in the area.
Wow.
And then he was like, yeah, I have this 4-unit building, I want to sell it, can you help me? I'm like, sure. And then we put that in the market. So this is a bad story. This is not funny, okay?
No.
So he, for some stranger, I did an excellent job getting, like, you know, making sure we are, you know, everything is legally done, and making sure the staples are done with the tenants. He couldn't get it. I went and asked the tenants to fill it out, send it to escrow. He got mad at me of doing my job, and we are in the car. I'm driving. He calls me. He's mad. He's screaming at me. And then I'm like calm, and then he didn't know my husband is in the car, and he goes like bizarre, like, you know, like F words, like.
Why?
Then,
what was you upset
because
about?
he was upset that I went and asked tenants to fill out their staples, like, you know, they have that.
Sure.
And then I'm like, you know what? You're being upset for me doing my job and covering your back. You know what will happen if you don't have after transaction closes.
These are
yeah,
fine.
right,
So you
right,
need to have your tenants
yeah,
financed.
yeah. And then, and my husband in the car, he cannot take this. He cannot take. I'm used to this, so.
But
you
he's
know.
seeing his wife disrespected,
Yeah.
so it's very upsetting.
He goes like, you know what? You need to stop talking like that to my wife. You don't have the right. And he just stops there. And since he has been one of my best clients.
Yay! I love
Yes.
that
So
story.
he needed to be put in his place.
I know, right? I couldn't do that. My husband did it for me. So I'm so nice. I'm way too nice.
I love
sometimes-
stories like that where it just turned around for you.
I know,
That's
and
great.
now he's-
And never judge a book by a cover.
I know.
Never.
I never do that. Now, whoever comes to my open house, I'm like, it could be 20,
But
owning 20 properties. I don't know.
But still, it must be. I mean, I think for realtors, and particularly in LA right
Hi.
now, when you're
Hi, Maria.
hosting an open house, and particularly if you're not teamed with anybody else and you're by yourself, it's got to be a concern that you don't know who's walking in, and you've got to be careful. Not only if it's a homeless person, but is it also a concern that somebody may be looking to steal things?
Oh
And
my God, yeah. I mean, that's how I advise my clients when I'm doing open house. And if it's an occupied place, please put your valuables away. Take it with you. Put it in a safe place. No prescribed medications. Those are the things that people go through.
Really? They
Yes.
steal people's
Oh,
they go in the
yeah,
restrooms. They
yeah,
go
Oh
in the
my
restrooms.
gosh.
Those are the things that we make sure that we advise our clients to take care of things before we start the open house. And if it's vacant, yeah, there are so many risks. There can be like crazy people walking into your open house. That's why I always, actually, that reminds me, because I had to throw my my spray, like, what is it called? Eye spray? The
pepper spray.
Pepper spray. I had to throw it at the airport. I need to buy one, so I always carry that with me, just because you don't know.
No,
So,
no,
yeah,
you really,
yeah.
particularly when you're on a listing.
Yeah,
and
and
an
you're by
open house
yourself.
is just that, it's open.
Right,
And you would
right.
think that's usually going to be people that are interested in purchasing, or it's just going to be the local neighbors that want to see a home.
I love neighbors. I love neighbors coming through my open house. Some agents don't like it, but I mean, I love it. They can be my potential seller.
That's a great
So
way to meet
Maria
people.
is asking, thank you for asking questions. We appreciate the interaction from the audience. So Maria is asking a question. Do you specialize in a particular area?
Great question, Maria. Yes and no. Obviously I live in Culver City. I love to stay on the west side. So anywhere on the west side, I'm comfortable. I'm Armenian, so I have a lot of family members, friends that they live in Glendale. Not that I like to go there, but I don't mind helping them out. Valley, it's okay. My sister lives there. I have few friends. But other than that, yeah, mainly on the west side. I'd rather to be like, you know.
Yeah,
You
it's
can-
always
yeah.
great to work close to home.
Yes.
Do you consider yourself more of a listing agent, a buyer's agent, or a little bit of a combination plate?
Good question again. I want to say every single year when I look back to my business, and I see every single time it comes to being 50-50.
Really?
Yeah, it's either like now this year, like for the first half, like it was all buyers, and then the second half it seems like it's gonna be all sellers. So it's just balances out, but it could be sometimes less and more. But mainly, I would say I have like a tad more buyers than sellers.
Okay.
They're my bread and butter of my business.
So obviously in my industry, here's the big elephant in the room right now with where the economy is going. And it's pretty obvious that interest rates have risen exponentially and pretty much at least doubled over where they were a year to a year and a half ago. How do you navigate in that market, and what difference has it made to you and how you do your job, and how you, particularly with new clients that engage with you?
Well, I mean, interest rates are whatever they are. I can't control that. You can't control that. Nobody controls that. It's just it just depends on the client's needs. If I'm understanding your question correctly, is that how the buyer, how am I letting them know this is still good market, or
it's still a good market, or maybe that they were, their money isn't going to go possibly as far. If they're a client that's getting a loan, there are still, particularly here on the west side, lots of clients that pay all cash.
Yeah. I mean, we see a lot of all cash buyer. I had like 2 transactions this year that they were all cash, or at least very close to all cash, very minimal amount of financing. But yeah, I mean,
good for them that they can do that.
I know.
Oh yeah, well, I've had a lot of clients like that too. Unfortunately for me,
That's not a good
when interest rates are low, people rather get a loan because interest rates are low and they can borrow that. They can basically use their money, invest it. But now with interest rates high, it doesn't make a lot of sense. It's depending on the situation.
Yeah, true.
Do you do mostly residential, or are you
mostly
doing
residential? I can go up to, based on my license, I can go up to 4 unit. I want to say I don't know how to do commercial, so I need to learn if I want to do that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but residential mainly. Yeah.
Do you work with which company do you work with?
I work with Compass.
Compass, got it.
I recently joined them. Recently, it means like 2 years now.
Great.
I didn't know that it's been 2 years, and then I started getting emails from leadership at Compass, like, happy 2 year. I'm like, oh wow, okay.
Has it been a good relationship for you? Have they give you a lot of support?
Yes, I like their technology, the things that they offer. The reason that I actually moved to Compass from Keller Williams, being there for so many years, I felt like I'm becoming a dinosaur in there, and I can't offer as much I can to my clients. They have so many great programs that I can help my clients. There's one Compass Concierge. We have Compass Private Exclusive, bridge loans that they offer. So these are great incentives that I could not offer to my clients when I was at KW, Keller Williams Realty. And so I feel like in order for me to grow and to serve my clients the way that I want to do,
it was better for
it was better for me. Yeah.
For anybody who's watching, just for the fun of it, can you briefly explain what a bridge loan is to somebody that might not understand?
And then I have a question.
No.
I do have a question from the audience when you're done with
But this is about you, so just tell them.
No. I mean, honestly, it's so technically what it is you correct me if I'm wrong.
Okay.
So if a buyer, especially like few years back, it was a totally seller's market, and there were buyers that wanted to move up to bigger properties, and they had to sell their property in order to buy, and they couldn't do that at the same time. But the bridge loan, am I right? But what bridge loan does is that they come in and they help them with the down payment so they can buy in their leisure, not get crazy, like, getting ready to sell their property. It's too much stress for somebody who is buying and selling. So it takes the stress away from the buyer who wants to move up to a better property in the meantime to sell their property. So
Exactly. Basically, like you said, it just bridges that gap, basically, and then the bridge loan gets paid off when the person sells their existing home that they're in.
Okay, so it's a temporary
It's
kind of
a very
yes,
temporary loan. It's just a
thing.
bridge loan, but it's a way to get into a new home without having to have the stress of selling your home and do a simultaneous close.
that's true. That's true.
Okay, so Carolyn's asking, how do you separate yourself from all the other realtors on the west side? That is a really good question because in our Culver City Biz group, we do have several realtors.
Sure.
And we do have like multiples of different things. I'm a jewelry designer, and actually we have 3 or 4 jewelry designers in here as well. So it's kind of interesting. How do you separate yourself? So,
Very good question,
Carolyn,
Carolyn.
uh-huh.
So yeah, I mean, I don't know if you guys know, an average person knows about 12 real estate agents. That's mind blowing.
Wow, I didn't know
Yes.
that's really
That's a statistic?
Yes, that's mind blowing. And if I start talking to myself like about myself, saying like I'm this, I'm that, I'm this. So the bottom line comes in. Obviously, of course, I'm better than everybody else. I have great negotiation skills. I have great marketing, tactics
And confidence.
and confidence, of course. However, as my very wise coach Steve Scholl always says, when it comes hiring a real estate agent, really it comes to the point. It's either you are the favorite or you're the fool, regardless of your skills. So if you're the favorite, and if they like you, trust you, and they know that you have their best interest, they're gonna hire you. But if you're the fool, I mean, of course they're gonna call you to get more information, but that's not their intention. So I hope that answers you. There's no way I can really describe that. I don't know.
I think there's a lot of truth to that, obviously, in being in my business too. You realize that there's always competition.
Oh, yeah.
You realize that, hey, sometimes it's not about you, and you just got to realize that everybody's some personalities jive together and some don't. Mm-hmm. And for me, hey, I like being in Culver City Biz, and there's other lenders in it, but we learn, we talk, we with each other, we compare notes, we can help each other depending on things that I can do that they can't do. And I think a lot of times, hopefully for you in the realty community, by having other realtors that are in CC Biz, and just some camaraderie of what's going on. And I realize that there are certain people out there that they look at anybody that's doing their businesses, the competition and the enemy, and they're very territorial. But I think for the most part in sales, people realize just because a competitor is next to you, that's life, and that's okay.
One thing I learned in my business, I used to do a lot of trade shows to get business from stores that I sold to. And one of the things that I learned was it was 80% of how you clicked with the buyer, and 20% was really your product, and so it does really matter how you, if they connect with you and they can, do business with you.
That's the essence of being a favorite and fool, honestly. So,
yes.
Yeah.
So again, if you just joined us, Maryam Majnounian is our next sponsor for Culver City Biz. We do a once a month in-person mixer, and we have sponsors that sponsor the event, and she is sponsoring our October 1, and it's going to be held next Thursday, October 12th at 4:30 p.m. We do have an invite on this group page, so take a look for it and come meet her in person. Come meet us all in person. If you haven't been to one of these are great places to connect and and meet new people and do some networking for your business, okay?
And it doesn't cost a dime.
It doesn't cost anything.
free.
It's free.
Yeah. And I forgot to mention, Rafia, thank you so much for organizing this.
Oh,
This is
thank
just
you.
amazing. We were just missing Culver City Bees page, and you did that. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. We do have another question. It says from Maria, can a seller or buyer request to work with a mortgage lender like you, Jeff? What types of loans do you specialize in?
Oh, I think it's for
Oh,
It's a
boy.
question for
That's
Jeff.
a lot of
Jeff, you're on
stress.
hot seat.
I specialize. If I say specialty, I probably specialize in the jumbo non-conforming product. That's where I'm most competitive in, and those are loans that are typically over $760,000. I do loans of all sizes, but I work for a bank, so it's basically the banks have pretty strict criteria and qualifications, and a lot of folks meet that criteria. But then when they don't, what happens if somebody is sort of out of the box and doesn't meet that criteria of a traditional bank? Well, that's when I'll recommend them to a mortgage broker. So for me, it's not always about, getting the business. Of course, I want to be able to get the business, but if I can't, I at least want to be a good resource to other people. And what that does is it helps the client and it nurtures a good longer relationship. Because if you do right to somebody else, even if you're not getting business, somewhere down the road in the
It'll
big
come back
scheme
to
of
you.
things, I feel it comes back to you.
I agree.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's
Absolutely.
making that relationship connection
Yeah.
and doing
Knowing
good.
resources and
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
listening to a client. And then sometimes that's been a hard thing for me because sometimes I like to talk and I just got to tell myself internally, just shut up and listen. Listen to what your customers wants and their needs and ask the right questions and peel the onion back and the layers, and you'll learn a lot about people, so you can
That's
really find out what they need, be it in what they're looking for in a home or, what their long-term goals are. How long are they going to, for instance, when I'm trying to figure out a loan, how long do you plan on staying in a home?
That's a
A
good
lot of people
question.
typically don't think about that.
Yeah.
But, if it's your first home, on average, on a first home, what is it, like 7 years or so?
Probably 5 to 7.
5 to 7 years is the first home. People's families grow and their needs grow. Or maybe somebody's going to get a job somewhere else. So those are the
I mean,
things.
even when I bought my first house, when we bought our first one, I had wanted only to stay there for 5 years, but we ended up staying there for 12 years and then moving to our second home here. But that was only because Jeff didn't really want to move at first.
No.
It's
But
all your fault.
It is. I'm a creature of habit.
he liked, he was very familiar with it. And that, personally, that neighborhood was amazing, okay? And our neighbors were amazing. We had such a sense of community. It was really hard to let go of that,
Yeah.
But we did end up staying longer. And, necessity made us move. Like, we were so cramped in there when our family grew, So sometimes necessities do make you do certain things, but it is probably a 5 to 7 year
Yes.
plan that
But sometimes people, and maybe you can expand on it, some people get attached to homes and some people don't have that attachment.
That's true.
They move every
True.
couple of years, and
Yeah.
it's a very comfortable thing.
Yes, and I applaud those people that they don't get attached, because it's hard if it's your first home and probably you have your child there, your first pet or whatever. You get married in that home. It's a lot of attachment, and definitely it's something that. When it comes selling it makes it hard.
it does. It really makes it hard. I remember our first home. Someone actually knocked on our door one day and said, "We used to live here. Can we come in and see the house?" So there was an attachment for them, It was.
Do you, part of your marketing effort, do you do literally walking neighborhoods and knocking on doors?
I do a lot of door knocking. I mean, I used to do it religiously before COVID, and then after COVID, I'm getting into grove of it. I'm like, actually getting back to actually after this, I have my old materials and everything ready to go to door knock. I know it's gonna be hot, but I'm doing it before I pick up my kids. So yeah,
So that's still something that's kind of interesting because I figured as things and technology and everything advances in how you market yourself, but
Face-to-face.
still the face-to-face, the door knocking still is an important component in
definitely.
your business.
Definitely.
So if you guys just joined, we are talking to Maryam Majnounian, who is a realtor in the West Side area, and she is our sponsor and our host for our next event, our in-person mixers that we hold once a month. And if you do want to be a sponsor or a host, please let us know. We're happy to have you come on board to do that. We are pretty much booked on every date until February of next year. So let me know if you do want to join in on the sponsorship thing. I thought this would be a great way for you guys to meet your host and your sponsor before you actually come to the event next week.
So this will be a monthly thing.
Hope to do it monthly.
Get ready.
Hope to do it monthly. So if you're next on the list, and you're watching, maybe you want to think about
Wrap up.
Yeah.
So we're 1 week out. Next Thursday on October 12th, we are going to be at the Beverlywood West Complex. And all the information is listed in the events and also just posted onto our Facebook group page where you're watching us from. And it's held at 4:30, and we usually give like a few minutes for people to come in, and then we start the program. We do a little bit of different things every month, so it's not the same all the time. We've done the speed networking to people going up there and talking about their businesses to all kinds of different things.
But there's networking opportunities
panels
before the programs start, during, and then also obviously afterwards.
Right. So this is gonna, it's gonna be a good one. Come and see what we've got going on and meet all the other folks that come. And just to let you know, we do average anywhere from like about 38 to 60 people that come to these events. So it's a great one to come and get your business cards out and network. So come on down and see us. Okay.
I just want to add something. If you're watching or if you are not, let me know if you like Persian food, because I'm planning to bring Persian food.
Oh,
and if
excellent.
and if you have any specific, food that you would like to eat over there, let me know.
Okay, wonderful. All right, does anybody else have any questions? If you do, put it in here. Maryam, thank you so much for doing this. I really appreciate it. And thanks, Jeff, for helping me with it.
Boy, first time out. That's a lot of pressure.
They didn't give me the questions to be like you.
Yeah,
know.
we
I
winged
didn't know the questions.
You went into the fire pit.
I know. The next sponsor, just be alarmed. You don't get the questions. So.
But it seems more genuine,
Yes, I
right?
like that.
It seems
Yes.
more genuine and not rehearsed
Yes,
and all that.
yes.
She asked me, I told her we're going to do a video. She goes, wait, we were going live?
No edit.
You're fine. You're
But
great.
we did fine.
Yes,
I think we did all
for the
of
first
us
time,
did
yes.
great. Thank you all for watching. I really appreciate it. And please come to our mixer and
See you
meet
next
Maryam in
Thursday.
person, okay? See you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye everyone.